Okay. Let's not start from the beginning because that's going to be straightforward. Everybody can still hear me, can still see everything. Everything's fine. All right, all good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to learn are these exact trig ratios. Now you would have learned this last year using a triangle. It's not the way that I would have done it or taught you. So let's just revise how to look at how to actually find exact values of some of these following trig identities. So question 1. It does say sine 30. So on our calculator, we'll just put sine 30 in, press equals, and that should just say a half. Any questions with that? Nope. Great. That's exact value already. The next one says cos 30. Cos 30, if I put it in my calculator, look what it gives you, 0.866. Now, you need it to be an exact value. This is not an exact value. So what you're going to do now is do this trick of mine that I've created. It's very simple. You would have cos 30 in your calculator. You press equals. So you should see 0.866. Now you square it. Becomes 0.75. Right? Then we press the SD button to get it as a fraction. So that becomes 3/4. Now, you're not allowed to just square it, right? That's something I've made up. So what you have to do is square root it again. But if you square root it, you're just going to end up with the same answer again, 0.866. So it's not just square root, it's called mentally square root, which means that you're more doing it in your head. So the mental square root of 3 is root 3, square root of 4 is 2. So the answer we're looking for is root 3 on 2. Did anybody not understand what I've done there? Okay, let's do tan 30. Tan 30, you're seeing 0.577, square it. Eventually you should see this, 1/3, which means you mentally square root that. Your answer is 1/√3. Before I start picking people, anyone not understand what I've done?
Can you go through it again, please?
Yes. So, cos 30. Giovanni, was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You're going to do it together with me. Ready?
All right.
Cos 30. Plug it into your calculator. What do you see?
8.6 or 0.866.
Okay, then you press square. So square it. What do you see?
0.75.
Press SD. What do you see now?
3/4.
3/4. Then you mentally square root that. Because you're not allowed to just square something, right? So what's the square root of 3? Root
3.
What's the square root of 4?
2.
2. And that's the answer we're looking for. That is
Right.
cos 30 in exact values. Let's do that again. Tan 30. Tan 30. What's the first thing you do now?
Put it in the calculator.
Yep, go ahead.
0.577.
And then?
You square it.
Done. And then?
You press SD, and it's 1/3.
And then
you
your answer is?
mentally square it. Yeah.
1/√3.
Mm.
Make sense?
A bit now, yeah.
Okay. Well then let's do B together as well. Sine 60. Plug it into your calculator. What does it say?
0.866.
Is that an exact value? No. That goes on forever. So what are you going to do?
Square it. Press
Square
SD.
it.
3 over 4.
And then?
I mentally square it.
So what's your answer? Sorry?
3 over 4, and then it goes to root 3 over 2.
Root 3 over 2. That's correct. Cos 60. What does it say straight away?
0.5.
So you can just write that as a half. You don't need to square or anything. That is already the exact value, right?
Yeah.
Tan 60.
1.732, and it goes on.
Yep. Tell
You
me.
square it, it goes to 3.
So what your answer is?
Root 3.
Perfect. I think you got it. Anybody else? Okay. Then let's pick Aiden. Let's do this first one. Sine 45.
It equals 0.707.
Yep.
And then you square it, and it
Yep.
gets a half.
And then, what's your answer?
1 over root 2.
Done. Do the same thing for cos 45.
Okay. It'll be 0.707, which when squared would also be 1 over root 2.
Done. And then tan 45.
It'll be 1.
Just one. Easy.
Yeah.
Okay. So when your teachers teach you the triangle, you completely ignore that. We're not doing the triangle because your triangles won't work for angles that are bigger than like 180 degrees. So that triangle is useless. The way you guys are doing it is my little trick here. Square it, mentally square root it. Okay? Let's go. Chan, sine 120.
Sine 120 will give me root 3 over 2.
Yep. That's it. Cos 120.
Cos 120 would give me negative a half.
Correct. And tan 120. Now hold on. Tell me the answer for tan 120 on your calculator.
So if I put tan 120, it will give me negative 1.73, etc. If I square that, it will give me 3. So is it root 3?
So is it root 3? It isn't just root 3. It
Plus
should
or
be.
minus?
No, it's just going to be negative. Now, let's talk about that for a second. Hold on. I made this up, right? This is my trick. I made this up because for a lot of students, they were failing with their exact ratios. The way I personally did it when I was at your age, I just memorized all those numbers. So I memorized like 1.73 is root 3 and so on. But I realized that's not going to work for a lot of kids. So I created this whole square and then mentally square root it. The problem is when you're squaring a negative number, what's going to always happen? Chan, talking to you.
Oh.
What's going to happen when you square a negative number?
It will be positive.
Always positive, right? So the problem is you're always going to have a positive number. What you guys got to remember is if the original question was a negative, that means here you're meant to still have a negative. So it becomes negative square root 3.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
Sam, wasn't added Natalia to the group chat?
Sorry?
Natalia, because she's not in it.
Yeah, I messaged her to tell her to come in. She hasn't added me yet.
I think you messaged me instead of her.
I added you. No, I messaged her. Yes, I told her please download. I told her that on Friday, 20th of March. That was 8 days ago.
Oh.
She's now just replied saying, I just added you on Skype. Let's see. That's what happens when you're late like that. Where are we? Skype. No, she still hasn't added me.
It's all good, I'll tell her.
Just tell her to send me a message. Yeah, no, she hasn't added. I'll message her as well. Add John Scott. Send me a message. Okay. All right. So, sine 330. Who's next? Hedvig, let's do sine 330.
Okay, so if I put it in the calculator, it's negative 0.5,
Yes. So
And
that
then-
becomes negative.
0.2525.
No, you're not going to square root it or anything. If it's a half, that's already an exact value. So you just leave it as negative 1/2.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hold on. Let's see if we can add entirely now. That's weird. Where are we? Give me a second, you guys. Select. Now we should be able to add. So share a link for others to join. Italian. No. Maybe I should have done. All right, you guys, look, I'm going to end the call. I'm going to try to add her to our page, and then I'll make another call again. Sorry.
It's all right.